Good morning, everyone. This is going to be controversial. You may not like to hear it, you may turn it off, but as you can see from the title, why is MAGA obsessed with genitals? I don't get it. On my last video, I ended up with this commenter, Will something or another, and I pinned it in the last video. And the first things first, when they say TDS, oh God, here we go. Because they're so delusional. So they have Trump delusions syndrome, but they want to say that we have Trump derangement syndrome. However, they go back and blame Biden for everything that Trump's doing or is screwing up. So then it comes to Biden derangement syndrome. So that to me is just so stupid. You know, that's like in high school when a girl gets a fever blister and she's got herpes, whatever. I never had them, just saying. I don't get cold sores, but it's just stupid. It's stupid to think that someone who opposes your opinion is delusional or deranged, because actually I believe that it is Trump delusion syndrome and it's on them, because they're delusional about what this is all about as far as everything when it comes to Trump. Because Trump is about in in engorging his family with money. And it brings me back to, y'all were so much in Congress just spending money trying to find the Biden crime family. Well, the Trump crime family is right there. The grifting Trumps. I mean, for God's sake. T-Mobile, a Bible, craziness. That's crazy. Okay. So that was the first part of it. But my question is why is MAGA so obsessed with other people's genitals? You have your own genitals. Play with them. Don't play with them. Like them. Don't like them. Let someone else play with them. Let them like them. That's no one's business but yours. So I don't understand why people are so obsessed with other people's genitals. I don't care about your genitals. I don't want to look at your genitals. I certainly don't want to be a part of making decisions about your genitals or what you decide you want to do with your genitals. You see, they don't like the word genitals or sexual organs because it scares them. Because they have all of these naughty feelings and they suppress them because that's what God says. Like MAGA Mike Little Johnson. He's as gay as a $3 bill. But he prayed the gay away. He has a family, and they still pray the gay away. I mean, his kid, his son, is part of his porn. Oh my God, a porn monitoring system. How weird is that? So not only is he obsessed with your genitals, he's also obsessed with his child's genitals. Why do you care? That's like being gay. Uh, that's not my, that's, I don't care who you love, but I certainly don't care what you do with your genitals. Now, this might be a little interesting. The person who said, the commenter that was talking about transgenders and this and that and everything, I wonder if they watch porn, if it's a male, does he get more excited by watching the penis? Or does he get more excited? I mean, if you're not watching penises, then you're watching lesbians. And if you're watching lesbians, then that's a sin according to the Bible that you try to preach to everyone else in the country. So it's really confusing to me why they would even bring up genitals, because if you're trying to hide the facts that you may be attracted to the same sex organ that you have while you're watching pornography, well, you know, don't suppress it. I, I don't know what to say. I don't understand why MAGA is so obsessed with genitals. Why do you care? Now, the story or the lie, and this is why Trump delusional syndrome is, he said boys were going to school boys and coming home little girls. That's never happened anywhere, ever. So that sparks this hatred for people who want something else for their life. It's not my business. And how does it affect you? How does someone doing something with their genitals affect you? Whether they're playing with them, or they're sharing them, or they're changing them. How does that affect you? Why do you want to govern someone else's genitals and sexuality? I don't understand that. Like Trump will throw out there, well, we stopped transgender mice experiments. They didn't turn, they didn't change mice. They're transgenic mice for cell research. Specially bred mice for research, not transgender mice experiments. I mean, could you imagine the tools that you would need to turn a little mouse's penis into a vagina? I mean, I don't know that they might be able to do it. I don't know. But that's not happening. Being obsessed with genitals. I'm not even obsessed with my own genitals. I'm just saying. I'm just really not. This time of my life, not about it. Don't care. And I certainly don't care what someone else does with their genitals or who they love. You know, but Pride Month is important. It's very important. It's more important than what Trump is doing, because what Trump is doing is just taking us into another world war. I mean, he thinks people are going to pay attention to him. Obviously, Netanyahu is going, all right, whatever, dude. I got you by the bag. Oh, wait a minute. Then that would mean that Netanyahu would have Trump's genitals in his hand, right? In the proverbial sense. Not sure why this commenter thought that it was an appropriate person to ask about genitals, because I'm just concerned that you were obsessed with other people's genitals. Maybe you should focus on something else, like maybe a bug out bag, or stocking your pantry, or looking at your medical supplies. Because I think right now we should be more concerned with preparing our homes for this new world and the possibilities that this new world is going to bring. And if you think that all preppers are MAGA, that would be an absolute misthought. If you think you have cornered the market on being a prepper because you're MAGA, no. If you think you have cornered the market on anything because you're MAGA, you don't. But you do corner the market on being obsessed with other people's genitals. So, with that being said, you all have a great day. Hugs from a distance. If you're in the heated area like me, just make sure all of your animals stay cool. I'm putting, like my chickens, I'm making sure that they have their flat sleds out. Um, and I fill them with water. And I have several chickens that go out and stand in water to cool off. Make sure you give them areas where they can do that. I noticed that Gandalf the turkey actually stood in one of those yesterday. And when I go through, I take a bucket of extra water. I'll take a little extra bucket and I'll add those to the waiting areas. Matter of fact, I saw one of my girls out this morning already standing in one of them. So make sure you take care of your animals because this is hot and this is miserable. And even though Tashir will be an outside dog for the most part, I'm not making this little baby take all this heat. She can lay right there next to the girls in their kennel. Y'all have a great day. Hugs from a distance. And remember, there's people obsessed with your genitals more so than you. I guarantee it. Bye, y'all.